What's going on, guys? It's your boy Az. We are back here with another video for you guys today, and let's call it the Eclipse dilemma because it's exactly what it is, right? People are on the fence up right now about like, hey, are we gonna be building her up and getting her unlocked, or are we gonna be holding off and saving our resources because there is so much around the corner right now with regards to the game vision, with the Q&A, with potentially newer teams, more meta teams, a nihilist. Like there is a lot. There's a lot of things we can talk about today, but today we're gonna try to keep it to the point, and we'll keep it, talking about Eclipse because I think it's an important point right now, and I'll kind of give you guys my 2 cents on it and where my stance is on, and of course as well, trying to be as mindful and also considering like where we are right now with the game in terms of the resource crunch, the gold, the trading materials, and yeah, hopefully it makes sense, and hopefully you guys can find some value in it. So first and foremost, in case you guys weren't aware, her event is coming pretty soon here, and of course there's going to be two ways for us with regards to her event. The first part of her event is going to be the yellow stars unlock, and the second part is going to be where we get the red stars and the diamond portion. And regardless, if you get her unlocked and you get Cannonball and Thrasher's his event's already kind of gone, but that's going to be how you get the extra Maestro shards. If you have those specific characters at specific star levels, you're going to be getting extra shards on Maestro. And if you guys haven't already seen like some of my other videos, yeah, like his kit looks pretty amazing on paper anyways, and of course as well, the battle world version of him, his data mines at least, yeah, he looks pretty crazy. Like, yeah, it's gonna be an interesting boss fight, and for myself, I like new content, right? And if it's new content and it's something exciting and it's a challenge, I like that. I like that sort of thing. So anyways, sorry, we're getting a little distracted here. So again, with Eclipse, we're going to basically need two teams, right? You're going to need the Winter Guard and you're going to need the champions working together to get her unlocked here. And then this is kind of where it talks about how you can get her free-to-play unlock. So level 75, gear tier 14 is kind of the minimum you need to get the 1-star. So, from a free-to-play perspective, that is actually fairly easy attainable, because even on my baby account that's about 60 days old, we've already got that covered. We've got at least 10 characters at gear tier 14, because my account's like 85ish right now. So that's pretty easy. But then of course once you get into the second and the higher stars, that's where it kind of ramps up difficulty. So this is kind of nice here where it says missions 1 to 3. You can use your team, and then you can get up to 3 reds on her. So basically people are going to pretty much be locked in for the 3 red. But then with mission 4, that's where it starts getting interesting, because that's where you're going to be restricted by ISO 8 level. And it doesn't really say here, but it also restricts you in terms of like champions, or if you're using Winter Guard, right? So again here, if you guys look here, for the just strictly for the yellow stars, it's going to be pretty fairly, I want to say, attainable for a lot of the free-to-play communities, because even in our alliance, pretty much everybody is going to kind of be sitting around this mission 5, where you have gear tier 20 and you got level 105 characters. Now, it doesn't necessarily say here that you need to have champions or Winter Guard, so that means in essence, as long as you have gear tier 20 characters and you have them at 105, you're pretty much guaranteed a 5 yellow Eclipse, assuming the event is fairly straightforward and you can do it, when it's released, right? And it doesn't require like multiple attempts or something like that, or there's a glitch with the game, or there's some other crazy stuff, because they always got something going on. But anyways, so if you have more than that, if you got characters that are 108 or 110, then good for you. Then you're going to be able to get more, right? And that's kind of nice. So that's going to tie in nicely with the extra shards from Maestro. Now, with regards to her red stars, this is where, like I said, it gets a little more finicky, because once you get past mission 3, then we're looking at champions at purple, at purple 1 and level 100, which you know what, I gotta be honest with you guys, that's still fairly attainable, because there's some keeners out there, and I know there's quite a few in my alliance as well. They've already got their champions worked on, they've already leveled them up, and actually they're not even 100, they're like 105. So right there, we've got that 5 yellow, 4 red already, which is, like I said, for not spending any money, and you're not doing anything different from what you are doing in the game right now. It's fairly attainable, and I think it's reasonable to see that. Now, this is where it gets a little finicky, because right after you get past this mission 4, now you're alternating, right? Now you're going to Winter Guard, and it's the, you know what, they really kind of punched us in the face here, because not only do they make us switch the teams, but now they want you to have them at purple level 3 and level 105. I mean, holy crap, that's crazy. I mean, I have one character that's at level 105 as a Winter Guard, but the other 4 are just, yeah, I think Red Guardian's 100, and the other 3 are just, yeah, they're trash. But so I mean, the 5 red is not reasonable at all. And then of course, if you want the 6 red, then they want you to pretty much, and again, I don't know why there's 8 missions here, actually. Oh, it's for the diamonds. My bad. It's for the diamonds. So at mission 6, then they want you to have your champions at level 110. Like, okay, now we are jumping from level 100 to 110, and the purple level 4. Like, wow, that is like, you know, if we were not even talking about a gold standpoint here, and we weren't talking about like gold resources and tier gears and whatever, the fact that they want purple level 4, now that's just a big smack in the face, right? And of course, as well, you know, even if you're able to get to purple level 5 on the mission 8, we don't have purple level 5 that's easily attainable for everyone right now. Like, you're not going to bring your champions to purple level 5. Like, if you guys are planning on thinking about it, don't do that. Don't do that, because you know, if you're serious about Blue Marvel or you know, whatever else is coming around the corner, that's a waste of your purple L5s. That is such a scarce resource right now. So even if you've got your Winter Guards and your champions at 110, that's kind of where I would stop. So I don't know. 4 seems very reasonable, and then 5 just seems like madness, and 5 and beyond is just, I don't know. Maybe they have to change this, but yeah, and it's crazy because, okay, so let's go back up here where, yeah, so if we have the mission 5 at tier 20, 105, fairly reasonable. Then of course that's gonna get us a 5 yellow unlock on Eclipse, which gives us, actually, if you scroll down here, if we go for the 5 yellow unlock, that's going to give us an extra 10 shards. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's also not great. So it's a lot of work for just 10 shards. Because remember, we were talking about how we have that minimum unlock, and even at 3 yellow here, you're getting 5 shards, and then 4 yellow, you're getting 5 shards, and then somehow 5 yellow means we only get 5 more shards apart from the 3 and the 4. Like, that's kind of like 5 shards is not going to do you any good, especially if you want an earlier unlock. You kind of want the 7 yellow on the bottom here, which gives you like 25 shards. But here's the problem: no one's going to be able to get a 7 yellow, right? Like okay, sorry, let me back that up a bit. No one's going to be able to get a 7 yellow on, like, you know, like the newer characters, like for example, Cannon. Is it Cannonball? No, Speedball. I always want to say Cannonball. Speedball. And of course Night Thrasher, because when you have new characters like that, that's crazy. Like, you're gonna have to whale out to get the 7 yellow, right? Unless you get really crazy and you got some crazy RNG, I guess. But you know, for a normal person, that 7 yellow is not expected, right? And of course, even if we go back up here and to get the 7 yellow on Eclipse, I mean, we'll scroll back up here so we can see what that is. I think that wasn't that like 110, and you need like gear tier, yeah, so 110 and gear tier 20 so I mean, that might be doable. I mean, if you leveled your characters up to 110, I mean, if you got an arena meta team and you leveled up, you know, most of those guys up to 110, yeah, I guess 7 might be doable. And then of course, then you might be able to get the you know, you get the extra little I guess, to go from 10 to 25. Yeah, that's a little bit better, right? I could get behind that. But unfortunately, yeah, I don't have any characters past 106. So that's going to be out of the realm of things for me. But I do have characters kind of around that 105 range and the tier 20. And I think a lot of other people do too. If you have Professor Xavier unlocked, you're gonna have it hands down easy. Because, yeah, Professor Xavier requires, like, was it like 25 or 20 characters at tier 20? So you're going to have that hands down easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Just not the 7 and the 6. I think that's very unreasonable. And again, yeah, her event and the red stars. I mean, it's nice the red star comes quite a bit later, like almost like 10 days. Wow, that's kind of crazy. So almost like 2 weeks, I guess. But it is kind of, like I said, it's kind of a cross point here. And I think yeah, if you guys are planning on bringing up, either your champions or your winter guard. Just keep in mind here, and I'm going to scroll back up to the top here so you guys can kind of see this part here where they do mention about the fact that the event. Okay, so I mean, it was on the other blog here, and I did see that it says here that the Eclipse loss will be around for a while. So power up your winter guard and champion characters to earn more Eclipse yellow stars. So guys, honestly, I feel like right now at this point in time, depending on where you are situated in the game, depending on your resources, depending on your gold, depending on your training materials and your characters and all that other stuff, it may not be a key priority. I think the only thing you're going to be missing out on is when they have the speedball and the Eclipse event for the extra Maestro shards. But as we already indicated there, really you're losing out basically on 25 shards if you somehow have 7 yellow on them. And even if you don't have 7 yellow and you realistically have like a 4 or a 5, you're only missing like 5 to 10 shards, right? So I would say, if you guys were, if you guys want to maximize and you want to ensure that your resources are going to be used effectively and smartly and all that other good stuff, and maybe I'll throw in some other big smart words in there. It's just, I feel like right now, because we don't even know how long the event's going to run for, because we don't even know what the heck is going to be around the corner when Annihilus comes and the Annihilus saga, you may be better off holding off on, doing anything. If you're able to get the 5 yellow unlock on her, and that's just because you already have characters geared up from tier 20, level 105, great. Then you don't even have to do anything with your champions. You don't even have to do anything with your daring warriors just yet, because you know why? Because the event's not going away for a while, right? Like if it was just like a limited time and it's only like a week or something, I think I would have a different stance on it. And now keep in mind, daring warriors is a Cosmic Crucible team, and if you're one of those guys that like to make sure you're competing at the highest level possible, and you want to make sure that you have the best teams and everything's leveled up, and you're always constantly fighting against other top end players, then for sure I feel like this is definitely gonna give you some value out of it with the daring warriors. And of course, if you have already some of those characters geared up and tiered up and they're level 110, then of course do it all, right? Get as much free stuff as you can. But at this point in time, because of this caption and because it says it's gonna be around here for a while, like that tells me right there that there may be something else around the corner, right? Maybe they want to make sure that people have enough ample time for it. And again, we're only missing out, like I said, on anywhere from 5 to 25 shards of Maestro, which really, I mean, from the other perspective, that means if you got Speedball and you got Eclipse and you got all 3 of them, it would give you an extra 75 shards, which is like, if you're on a top end alliance and you're smashing up the boss quickly, really, it's like a month worth of shards, or like 1 session or maybe 2 sessions of Battle World that you're really missing. And that's not, that's not too bad, I think. I feel like in the grand scheme of things, that's not too bad. And I feel like, that's going to be my take right now. And I feel like if my decision will definitely change as well, depending on how many days we have on the event, and I might have to just gauge it. And I'll let you guys know. I'll let you guys know what I do. You guys can always wait and see, and wait for the envoys, wait for the other content creators you guys follow, see what they do first as well, and before you make any decision, right? You don't want to regret it, because this is kind of we have to plan smart and we have to play smart, given the limited resources that we have, and you don't want to jump and make rational decisions, right? Now just imagine this for a second, right? So we've had back-to-back energy spending events. And now we've had a power core one with with Quasar as well. So now let me ask you guys this: how mad would it be, if and I'm not saying they would or they wouldn't, but would it be crazy if they slapped a gold spending leaderboard, in the near future? And of course, it coincides with, like, say for example, Eclipse's event or whatever, and you already went ahead and leveled up all your characters to 110 or 105. And you could have been double dipping on that leaderboard event, right? So I don't know, and maybe that will lead into the new gear tier 21 stuff. Like, we don't know what's gonna happen, but what's the rush, right? For the extra 25 shards, for the extra 5 shards, is it going to be your guys' worth? Is it going to justify the means? I can't make that decision for you guys. I feel like everyone's going to have a different position on the game. Different, if you haven't had resource crunches and you've got all these characters at 110 and you're ready to go, then hey, go get that free stuff. But if you guys aren't and you're like me and you've got resources and you're strapped in and you got to figure out, what your next move is and you want to be smart with it, then hey, you can also follow my strategy, and it's kind of a wait and see sort of thing. And the last thing I'll leave you guys with here is this infographic. If you guys do decide to proceed and you guys do say, hey, this isn't a dilemma, we got this, we can get everything out of this event, we're going to get all the Maestro shards. Well, last thing I'll leave you guys with here is just that team comparison again. And I used this way back in one of my older videos. But again, just from my perspective here, and, and so you guys are aware, right? Bringing up the Winter Guard and the Champions. Like, yeah, the one's a war team, one's a raid team. And yeah, they're all kind of farmable now, which is kind of great. But just keep in mind here, and this is kind of what I want to bring your guys' attention to. It's traits, right? If you are planning to push these guys to tier 20, just keep in mind, like, the Winter Guard, you're going to need 3 moons and you're going to need 2 skills to bring them up to tier 20. And again, with champions, you're going to need 4 bio and 1 tech. So if you are planning to do that sort of investment on the tier 20 side, just make sure you guys have gear pieces available for that. Because, yeah, like as you can see here with the champions, 4 bio characters is a pretty big investment. And hey, don't forget, like, Maestro is also bio, right? So this could be a potential trap so that you can't bring your Maestro up when he gets released because you're strapped on bio material, right? So just keep in mind, right? It is like, it's a little crazy to me that they're forcing us to do 10 characters or 2 different teams, and they want them at like purple level 4 and 5 and level 110 and tier 20. Like, that's a pretty big ask. But like I said, if you're not one of those guys and you have resources to spend and you're very careful with your resource spending, and you don't think it will be an issue, then yeah, by all means. But I would say wait and see, and make that informed decision once we all have all that information at our fingertips. And then, yeah, I will also keep you guys posted on what I do. But I don't think I'm going to make any rash decisions just yet, at least until we see what they show us with regards to the event, with how many days we have. And of course, as well, like I said, what if they decide to put a gold spending leaderboard event in the middle of all this? Like, wow, that would just blow my brains. But you know what? They've done it before, and nothing will really surprise me anymore. Otherwise, guys, yeah, I hope this was helpful. I'm sorry for all the blah, blah, blah. Hopefully I didn't bore you guys to death here. But yeah, this is kind of what I see here as the dilemma, and hopefully it gives you guys a little bit of insight on the situation, where my stance is. And of course, as well, guys, I always appreciate your time. It's always a pleasure. I enjoy doing these videos for you guys. All right, guys, thank you for watching as always, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.